What is up, enthusiasts? It is CedarFlags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So, the coaster industry every year tries to outdo itself. Every single year, the coaster industry comes out with new products, new roller coasters, for coaster fans of all kinds to ride all across the world. And 2025 is looking to be a great year when it comes to roller coasters. You have record breakers from all across the world, and you have new types of roller coasters in certain regions. So today, I'm going to be talking about 5 of these rides that really stood out to me, and I think that these 5 are some of the standout attractions of this year. But this is only a part 1, so if you don't see your favorite coaster of 2025 in this video, it will be in a future video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is CedarFlags, and today, we are going to be counting down part 1 of the best new for 2025 roller coasters. For our first coaster, we go to Canada's Wonderland up in Canada to look at the one and only Alpen Fury. Opening up new for this year, this will be a 9-inversion multi-launch coaster by Premier Rides, and it will occupy the front section of the park. Truly, this looks aesthetically pleasing as a coaster, first off, but this layout has so much to offer. First off, this coaster will feature 2 different launches. It will have a long out and back layout, and something that definitely caught my eye, it will interact with Wonder Mountain. And I will say, it looks great. It obviously reminds a lot of enthusiasts about Volcano the Blast Coaster. This was the multi-launch that used to exist at King's Dominion, and a lot of enthusiasts thought that popping out of the volcano like that looked really cool. And to say the least, this looks like a way to bring that back somehow at another park, while opening up a brand new coaster. And just like Volcano, I'd say the launch out of Wonder Mountain looks incredible, and when that's fully built, it's going to look great in the front of the park. When it comes to the rest of the ride, it used to occupy the Extreme Skyflyer plot, which was a sky coaster model, and it adds to an already massive coaster lineup. This will be the first launch coaster with inversions at the park, and will have a great theme, as well as records broken. The launch coaster with the most inversions, and the tallest, fastest launch coaster in the country. And this is an absolutely packed layout. So after you launch out into that top hat, with a top speed of 71 miles an hour or 115 kilometers per hour, you will go into the tallest element of the ride, and it looks incredible. And after that, you will go up into a top hat style element. The ride also includes a 0G stall, a lot of very unique elements that have unique profiling. Some of the unique element names on this ride will include the Fire Serpent Roll, the Skyflyer Loop, and the Ice Winder Roll. Overall, this looks to be an incredible addition to Canada's Wonderland, will add a lot to the park, and is a big coaster. And is a very interesting coaster itself, because it has inversions, airtime, and a complete layout. Up next, we go to Texas to look at Circuit Breaker at Codaland at the Circuit of the Americas. So if you don't know, the Circuit of the Americas is building and expanding their park, which is Codaland. So this opened initially in 2020, but very initially because they did not have a lot of rides at the time. But ever since then, they have announced a handful of rides that are going to be coming to the park, and these look very promising. These multiple projects include a Gerstlauer Infinity, a Vekoma Tilt, and much more. Today, we are going to be talking about the Vekoma Tilt. This is Circuit Breaker, and it's going to be one of 3 tilt coasters opening up this year all across the world. And to say the least, this is a very exciting model. First off, you have that 90-degree tilt track, you have the thrilling layout after it, and you have that thrill factor. This ride is for sure eye-catching and has a very promising layout even after that tilt track. After the tilt track, you go into a tunnel, and there are some inversions, including a rollover camelback, which has an inversion, a barrel roll down drop, an Immelman, and one final Heartline roll to close off the ride. All 4 of these inversions will provide some great thrill, as it is intertwined with multiple airtime moments, including a wave turn. Without a doubt, this will be an absolute game changer for the United States and Texas as a whole, as it will set a new precedent for Vekomas all across the area. I can't wait to see this ride opening up with others for the 2025 season, because this park looks great. For the third coaster, we are going to be going to Europe, specifically Austria, to talk about Helios, which is opening up at Fantasiana. This is a mock multi-looper, and to say the least, this looks like one of the most crazy, compact coasters I have ever seen. So, if you don't know, this is occupying the former spot of the PAX Wild Train, which was called Wild Train. This will be a mock Striker coaster, but it will have similar elements and design to a mock Big Dipper coaster, but slightly scaled up. And to say the least, this ride has a very promising layout, many fast-paced elements, great airtime moments, and, what I caught by surprise, a lot of interaction with the theming. It's going to be going in and out of structures while you're on the ride. The ride itself has beautiful architecture, and the area looks completely different from what it did before, as the area barely had theming, and now it is covered in it. This area is going to look great surrounded by this coaster, and looking at this plot of land, it's crazy that they fit a coaster this thrilling and this compact into a layout this small. Some of the layouts that pop out for me are the two outward bank turns throughout the layout, especially that first one which looks completely insane, and the super unique inversion collection of this ride, because all of these inversions look great, and especially that turnaround. Mock Rides continues to show what they could do with this brand new Striker coaster, and I think Helios will continue to extend that catalog, as this looks to be a promising, thrilling, and even standout mock coaster. For the next spot, we go to Georgia in the United States to look at Six Flags Over Georgia's new for 2025 Intamin multi-launch, Georgia Gold Rusher. It was originally going to open in 2024, but it unfortunately got delayed into 2025, and ever since then, they have been putting more and more theming into the ride. And since it's opening up this year, I am extremely excited. This ride looks to have a very simple layout, and you would be right. It's a shuttle layout, but it has a few tricks up its sleeve. First off, it will have lap bar restraints, which we always love as enthusiasts, but then the actual ride starts, because this ride has a few unique airtime moments, including one on the ground and two on each spike. And I think this alone will make this ride very thrilling and promising to coaster enthusiasts. Though this ride doesn't have a full layout, I still think that it's going to be promising to enthusiasts because of the multiple airtime moments throughout the experience. And that's not even to mention the interaction with water. This ride has a lot, and I think this ride is going to accomplish what it says it's going to do. I think this could also be a very good ride to clone, and I think that this would work very well at some other Six Flags parks if they decided to expand. And even if they wanted to extend out of the Six Flags chain, I think that these Intamin Wave Riders Extended would be a very good fit. This is a built-up version of the Intamin Half-Pipe coaster, which opened up at multiple parks in the 2000s, but this has, of course, a bigger, more extended layout that has a lot more to offer. So for our next spot, we have Stardust Racers, and it's not one coaster opening up, but two dueling roller coasters opening up alongside each other at the new Epic Universe, a brand new theme park being built in Orlando, Florida by Universal for this year. This area has a lot of great parks already, but this park looks like it's going to stand out on its own, with many areas, including the central hub, which is Celestial Park. Celestial Park is going to be where you enter through. It's going to be the center hub of the park where all of the worlds meet, and it connects all of the areas together. And this ride is located in that area and has a sci-fi theme associated with it. I kind of like this theme of transporting through worlds, and it has a sci-fi theme which I always love. But the ride alone looks incredible as well, because this could honestly be one of the best rides in the state of Florida. So why is that? This ride has a long duration, a lot of airtime moments, and a very unique collection of elements. So I say we look at it. The ride starts off with that first launch, which leads immediately into a top hat, which looks to provide some very good negative Gs at the top, and after that, a dive loop style inversion. And this looks incredible as well. After the dive loop is what looks to be one of the greatest parts of the ride, a massive airtime sequence, several airtime hills in a row for both sides, over and over and over. This reminds me a lot of some of my favorite roller coasters. Of course, you have that turnaround, another airtime moment on both sides for good measure, and a second launch. Now this second launch goes right into the Celestial Spin, which is a cool collection of inversions that interact with each other multiple times. This looks to be a crazy element. I don't know how it's gonna ride because it is the first being built, but to look at it, it looks insane. The rest of the ride provides a collection of airtime hills, bank turns, and a mix of both. This dueling coaster also crosses over each other multiple times, which will allow a great dueling aspect for each train. I think this is easily meant to be one of the great standout coasters at this park, and I think once this opens, it will be one of the best coasters in the area. So, let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. Let me know if you're planning on riding any of these anytime soon, as these are either testing, finishing construction, or are ready to be opened. So, in the comments below, let me know which one you want to ride, and let me know what you thought about the video. Until next time, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.